Hi and welcome to the second episode of my 2K17MYGYM series, and today we'll be looking at some potential trades we're going to make. So, as you can see here, we're going to bring up the stats. So Jokic is doing well, averaging double-double. Gallinari is injured, but as you can see, averaging 15 points, doing well off the bench. Moutier's been a beast with 14 and 6. Freed averaging a double-double. Chandler is averaging 10. But here's where I want to maybe talk about the change in the lineup. Gary Harris is only averaging 8 points and he's starting. Both Will Barton and Jamal Murray averaging more and pretty much the same amount of assists and rebounds. So this could be something to look at in the future. I don't really want to move Will Barton yet to the starting lineup because without Gallinari, he's out pretty much backup small forward. Maybe we'll move Jamal Murray up, we'll see. Nurkic is injured, but Arthur&Jameer, the rookie's replaced him and he's averaging pretty much the exact same stats. So that's good for the rookie to be able to just come in immediately and replace him. And Beasley's only played one game and he's obviously only shot 1 3-pointer. So yeah, now we're going to be looking at some potential trades we're going to make. As you're going to see here, everything else for us stat-wise is okay. Like, the points we're scoring offensively, with one of the best in the league. Points being allowed in the game, we're okay in that area as well. But still, I think we got a little bit where we can improve defensively, because I want to get into that top 5 if we're going to be a playoff team that can actually make it all the way. So as you can see here, everything else is pretty good, like assists, field goals, they're all fine, shooting percentage and all that, and I think that's why we went on the 8-2 run in the simulator. I don't know how we beat Golden State. I had a look and like Durant went like 2 for 12 from 3 or something like that, so I think that might have had something to do with it. As you can see here, our 3-pointers, we don't take a lot to make a lot, but our percentage is still okay, so I'm not too concerned with our 3-point shooting, because I think we do have enough to stretch the floor. It's just we choose. It's my play style to go more inside and into the post rather than spread the floor with threes, and I think with our personnel, that's probably better for us, because we have more streak shooters than anything. But as you can see here, our steals and blocks per game are really low, and our blocks is actually 30th in the league. That's why I want to look at some good interior defenders. So we're going to go to the player finder here, and I'm not really sure whether I want a power forward or a center right now, because with Nurkic injured, it'd be nice to have another third string center. But at the same time, when Nurkic comes back, he's just going to be dropped straight away from the lineup, so there really wasn't much point, I don't think. I think we're going to go for a power forward, I think. Power forward for sure. Because even though we have Darrel Arthur, even though we have Arthur&Jameer, they don't provide the defense possible. And Darrel Arthur is more likely we can trade him to a team that actually needs him to stretch the floor. I'm just looking for a defender, really. I don't care if he can't hit the 3, as long as he can stretch out the mid-range at least, that'd be nice. So as we're going to see here, I just go post defense as a B and then see what comes up. Because, and this is our search that we get. So Davis, Griffin, Green, they're all obviously not allowed. Millsap, they're not going anywhere. Now, if you have a look at Millsap, he's actually going to free agency. He says, I'm probably going to test my free agency value. However, do we really want to get Millsap and then have to be like, oh no, he's going to free agency anyway, so I'd kind of like to see if we can sign him in free agency. Same with Serge Ibaka. Plus, Kenneth Faried's playing well for us right now. Yes, Serge Ibaka gives us the shooting, but I'm not sure that I want to trade Kenneth Faried yet. But Taj Gibson's an interesting one. Yeah, he's kind of old, but he would be easy enough to slide onto the bench after Kenneth Faried. And even though 31's not too old, he can still grow with this team. As you can see, Josh Smith and David West, no way. So out of that list, Taj Gibson's the only real one I'm looking at. I'm looking at the trade finder, because I actually think that is a good system in 2K17. I mean, I'm not going to do severely lopsided trades. I'm going to try and keep it as realistic as possible. But it just helps, because a lot of the times you just don't know the salary cap situation and how to make it work and things like that. So as you can see, they offer us one deal here. So it's basically swap first rounders at Kenneth Faried for Gibson. Now I'm looking to keep Kenneth Faried and actually acquire Taj Gibson. So we'll say no to that one for now. Because everyone else here is either not going anywhere or just probably going to free agency, where I just don't want to trade Kenneth Faried yet. So as you can see here, we look at Serge Ibaka and they want Jokic, who's pretty much untouchable for us. He's going to be our star player. He's going to take us to the promised land. So definitely not trading Nikola Jokic. But then I thought, well, if our steals are low, maybe we need to improve that perimeter defense a little bit. So that's what I went to have a look. And where do we have this hole? Where do we have a hole? I mean, we have 4 shooting guards and essentially 1 point guard because I'm not playing Jameer Nelson because he just can't dribble the ball in this modern day NBA. So I thought, what about a defensive point guard? Someone who can come off the bench and just play good defense, maybe shoot the 3 at a good enough clip, like Moutier, just around a C+, that'll do. So I go point guards. Westbrook's obviously out of the question. Paul's obviously out of the question. Curry's out of the question. John Wall, but out of the question. Lowry, no. Bledsoe, no. Because these guys are all starters. I just want to back up for Moutier because Moutier is going to be a starter. Alfred Payton's an interesting one. I thought about him. I mean, yes, he's a starter, but he could just as easily come off the bench. And he's the perfect defensive playmaker. Yeah, sure, his 3-point shooting's not great, but if he can playmake for guys like Gallinari. Patrick Beverly is probably the best one, to be honest. So Beverly can shoot the 3, he can playmake, and he can play excellent defense. He's probably where I want to head with this, but I'm just checking out some other options with you. Rajon Rondo. Yes, he's older, but the Bulls clearly don't want him. I mean, you just look at this modern day situation with him and the others. Butler and Wade disagreeing. Rondo is on the way out. We might be able to get him traded. And this guy, Briante Weber, he's a free agent, but if you look at his thing, being perimeter defense and his 3-pointer, mid-range, inside scoring, it's all not bad. Plus, when he gets to our league, he's probably going to go up like the 3, as you can tell with most of our players. So he could actually be a good young player. But I'm still going to hit up Alfred Payton here for this trade finder. See, that's a lot of moving parts, and I'm just not going to do anything with that. But as you can see, we'll try Patrick Beverly now. We're ringing up the Rockets. So Darrel, Arthur&Mike Miller for Patrick Beverly and Corey Brewer. Now that deal I'd be happy with. Maybe it's a little too lopsided, but it kind of makes sense for the Rockets because they don't have much in power forward after Ryan Anderson, because Montrezl Harrell is there and he's a good young player, but he can't stretch the floor. He's got a okay mid-range, but he cannot hit the 3. Darrell Arthur can hit the 3, and that's very important for the Rockets because considering how many they're taking this year, it's almost like 30 a game, I think. And Corey Brewer for Mike Miller would be great for the Rockets as they get to dump a bigger contract on us and salary and just get Mike Miller, who they can just let go at the end of the season. And that also helps us because Corey Brewer can fill in our hole at small forward for now while Gallinari is still recovering. So this is definitely a deal that I want to really consider because as you can see here, I'm going through and having a look. Shooting guard wise and point guard wise, they're fine. Like, they don't have any other point guard apart from James Harden because it's clear James is playing the point this season. And you look at the power forward situation, none of these players Harrell or Anawaku, can stretch the floor. And Arthur can. And you see, like, the mid-range isn't great. Yeah, he could grow into a player that could, but the Rockets want a championship now. Do they really want to wait for Montrezl Harrell? Because right now he's just kind of an energy rebounder kind of player. So there's this deal, or exactly the same thing, Patrick Beverly and Corey Brewer, as well as Darrell Arthur, but instead of Mike Miller, Jameer Nelson. Now, why would the Rockets do this? Well, it's because Jameer Nelson is an excellent playmaker. He's like Patrick Beverly, except he can't play any defense. However, he does shoot the 3 with consistency. Yes, he's old, but the Rockets are going for a championship, so the age really wouldn't matter. So is it worth just chucking in Jameer Nelson instead of Mike Miller? Because I'd rather just get rid of Jameer Nelson, to be honest, because he's on a 2-year deal. Mike Miller's on the 1. He's probably looking to retire at the end of the season anyway. I think that would be it. So the Rockets would really be targeting Darrell Arthur, but they also get Jameer Nelson because, yes, they get to dump some more salary with Corey Brewer. Plus, I get my defensive playmaker, and the Rockets also get a player who can take some minutes away from James Harden because no one else at that point guard position is going to do it, and no one else in Houston can handle the ball except James Harden. So he has to kind of be on the floor a lot of the time. Because the only player that can do it was Patrick Beverly, and that's who we want. So that's kind of the deal I'm thinking. I don't know if it's too lopsided. I think it's kind of fair on both sides. I mean, the Rockets you need, I think, like a player like Darrel Arthur, and we need a player like Patrick Beverly. Because I don't know if Beverly's 3-pointer is good enough to be a 3D player on the wing. So this means that James could play the shooting guard next to Jimmy Nelson. So yeah, I'm really not sure whether I want to do this deal or not. Or do I want to wait and see other options? Because Briante Weber is the easiest thing to do, is just sign the free agent. I just release Johnny O'Brien, the other guy who's on a 10-day contract in real life with the Nuggets. Just release him to free agency and pick up Briante Weber. But yeah, he'd be the other one because his 3-point is good. His defense is good enough. I mean, Patrick Beverly is the best defender there. But his defense could grow and is good enough already to a point where it's like, I don't mind. His playmaking abilities seems okay. And he can also score heavily in the mid-range, which is something that Rondo and Beverly can't do as well. But the other deal I'm thinking is this one. Now, I rang up the Bulls and said, look, Rajon Rondo's in turmoil, what do you want? And they said, just give us another playmaker. And I said, what about Jimmy Nelson? They said, okay. So do we want Rondo? Do we want the 30-year-old vet who can play defense but not shoot the ball? Because that 3-point is not going to get any better anymore. So those are the options. So it's Darrel Arthur and Mike Mill for Corey Brewer and Patrick Beverly. Do we just sign Briante Weber, or do we do this deal? Jimmy Nelson for Rajon Rondo. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And yeah, I'm out. See you next time.